After corn planting in the United States wrapped up in the spring, most farmers across the U.S. Corn Belt experienced outstanding weather in June and July. This good weather helped the crop progress quickly and set up a perfect situation for pollination. Nebraska farmer Dave Nielsen said he thought the cooler spring would mean the crop would be behind heading into pollination, but the corn plants grew quickly.
We're pretty well on schedule. We thought we were going to be a little late going into tasseling, but corn crop grew tremendously fast in June. We had a couple weeks there where it really elongated and grew. We caught some growing degree days, some heat units, and so we're really on about average where we're usually at. We've got through pollination great. We have a beautiful pollinated crop this year.
Heading a bit further south, Kansas farmer Terry Venduska gives us an update on his crop.
When we planted corn the very end of March and early April, it was very dry. Most of the corn laid in dry soil for anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks before it ever came up. And finally we got some rain, we got beautiful stand establishment, turned off a little bit dry again, then we had a couple of weeks of very wet weather. Now it's turned off hot and dry once again. But overall, the prospects look very, very good for a great crop.
While the crop progressed well in the western Corn Belt, the same was true across most of the country. Ohio farmer John Linder has traveled a bit this summer and has this update.
Well, this will be a great year for corn across the country. Brother and I have been out and traveled across several states, and what we've seen for corn is just phenomenal. It is a banner year for a lot of areas. A lot of states are really doing well.
John's right in that a lot of U.S. farmers are going to see a good crop, as the U.S. Department of Agriculture is forecasting a record U.S. corn crop this year. USDA recently estimated U.S. production at a record 356 million tons, with average national yields of about 10.5 tons per hectare. We asked Paul Jeske, a farmer from Illinois, for a yield estimate in one of his fields.
So as we were talking about the yield potential for this field, the 258 bushel an acre, I know most of you talk in metric tons per hectare, and that actually would be over 16 tons per metric tons per hectare. And our average production is a little over 11, and a good year for us in the past has been 13. So I don't want to count on 16. I think that is probably higher than what we will really see. But the point is, it looks like the potential is much above normal for us, and for sure it will be a very, very good year.
While having a big crop is good, what about the quality of that crop? Farmers we talked to so far said corn quality is on track to be very good, as insect pressure and other potential problems are under control. Paul helps us understand how things have changed and how that's a good thing for crop quality.
As a kid, when I first began to travel around with my father and things, every ear of corn in the field, at the end of the ear, it would always be full of damaged kernels where the insects would feed on that. And those damaged kernels are quite a source of mycotoxin contamination. Molds and things can infect a kernel if the covering is eaten away. Mycotoxins have not been a problem for us in this area, with the exception of a few minor problems in 2012, which was an extreme drought. But I would expect the corn quality should be excellent this year, and I would expect mycotoxin problems in our region of the country to be almost non-existent.
The big changes Paul talked about have a lot to do with biotech crops, or GMOs, specifically BT crops, which resist insect pressure. John Linder explains.
To produce good quality grain, we need to start in the field. We need to head off any molds that would grow. We need to produce a kernel that is full of strength and integrity, so it is able to deal with all the times it's handled to get it shipped. But what the BT will do is more about keeping the plant healthy than it is actually to reduce the mold. And by reducing insect feeding to where we don't have corn borer coming into the ear and producing an injury, to where it's not only degrading the kernels where it lives, it also opens up as a sore so that Fusarium, Gibberella, or maybe anthracnose comes in and produces mold in the ear, that then we have a moldy grain. So we're going to lose that quality if we don't have the BT bred into the corn to where we can actually control the quality. So you can see the BT stalk just shows tremendous health and resists the insects.
So with good weather this year and healthy corn plants, it's looking more likely that the United States will have a record corn crop and a crop that's of good quality and ready for export. We'll know soon, as harvest is coming up quick.